In a time when remakes of popular movies casting only female roles are coming out and bombing, we get a TV show with a female lead that is actually pretty damn good. Pow! Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about the Marvellous Mrs. Maisel. And before we begin, just a heads up, this will be a spoiler-free review in which I will be covering seasons 1 and 2. So the Marvellous Mrs. Maisel is the story of a 20-something-year-old girl called Miriam Maisel and her road to stardom in stand-up comedy. She's played by Rachel Brosnahan, to which some of you might recognize her as the girl from early days of House of Cards. So the plot is set up mostly in New York City during the 1950s, and that's pretty much it what you need to know. The pilot episode begins with Miriam giving her wedding speech, and then the show just jumps off 4 to 5 years later because that's when the real story starts happening due to her divorce, which is the main trigger that leads her going into stand-up comedy. Kind of like Adele when it comes to singing. Never mind, I'll find. The pilot episode is there mainly to build up the main characters, which include her husband Joel, both of her parents, Joel's parents as well, and last but not least, her future manager in stand-up comedy. Of course, there are also some other characters that do show up during the show, but these are the key main ones that it focuses on. And right in that moment, in less than the first 20 minutes, very serious, you see that this is going to be something seriously good. There are shows out there that need a couple of episodes for you to get invested in. Usually it takes me 3 to 5 episodes to really get invested into a show. But this one just gets you. It is incredibly well written. Oh my God. And of course it has to be because it focuses on comedy and what it takes to be a stand-up comedian. Characters, all of the characters are unique and there's a constant development and growth in each of them. Oh, by the way, it is also important to mention that all of her family, all of her husband's family are Jewish and are successful and rich. You don't know how rich though, but they are very rich. There's some scenes in the movie where just like in a moment of thought, they just decide to fly over to Europe, and in the 1950s, the tickets should have been like expensive. And the reason why it's important to mention that they're Jewish and very rich is because this is a very important element to the development of the show. Influences a lot of plot, so from Jewish events and traditions such as the Yom Kippur to just their lifestyle, which is just hilarious because as you're watching it, you see that they're playing with the notion of stereotypes such as first world problems or rich people problems. And when you put in all of that, the fact that Miriam's style of comedy is very raw, it's observational, it's dirty, and a lot of times it's based on what happens around her and her family, this can cause a lot of backlash for her, and that causes the internal conflict that drives the show in a way as well. This show has been actually here for a while already, so it's been in 2 seasons, but I feel like now after season 2, it's really starting to get traction and popularity since the Golden Globes Awards, I believe. And it comes in a very interesting time because I feel like comedians have been given a really big spotlight in the past 2 years, especially with a lot of comedy specials coming out all the time and new ones being discovered. Back to the 2 main characters, Miriam and her manager Susie. Miriam as a character, she's just awesome. She's smart, she's witty, she's just great and hot. And there's some, and trust me, you want to watch at least the first episode. And when she's on stage and performing her comedy, it is actually really good. As I said, it's really well written. Her manager Susie is also really funny. Any interaction with her, whether it's with some random people in the streets or some of Miriam's family or Miriam itself, is just hilarious and enjoyable to watch. Her and Miriam just have a really great and interactive chemistry during the show. And when the scenes aren't on Miriam or Susie, and it focuses whether on Miriam's family or her husband's family, you are still enjoying it as it is funny and entertaining, but in a very different tone, which is really good because it makes the comedy spectrum much wider. I really don't want to give out too much about what happens in the show. I just wanted to put this out, even raise the smallest awareness of it because it's freaking awesome. And you should definitely go check it out. Currently, the show is available on Amazon Prime. You can easily subscribe and get a 30-day free trial, just as I did, and then binge the shit out of it. And so, as always, if you managed to find this video, watch it to this point, do leave a like, subscribe. Go watch the Marvellous Mrs. Maisel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Pow!